Testing, testing, 1 2 1 2. Not muted, are we? Right. Forgotten how to do this. Not been on for so long. What am I doing? Hello and a big welcome to the channel. I'm the Motorsport Madman and this is the Thursday night preview show ahead of the 2022 British Grand Prix. We're at home this weekend. We're back at home for the British Grand Prix. I can't believe we're already nearly halfway through the season, man. That is crazy. But anyway, if you are new to the channel or if you are a Formula 1 fan, get yourself subscribed because I'm live for every single qualifying and every single Grand Prix from the Formula 1 World Championship, as well as practice sessions, preview show like now, and gaming coming soon. We'll have more information about that because we're going to be getting on the brand new Formula 1 game. But yeah, welcoming Chris and Matty. Hopefully more will join, but let's get started. So if you don't know, the show's split into 4 parts. Got a little bit of history of the British Grand Prix, then a bit of news, like a news roundup from the past 2 weeks in between the Canadian Grand Prix and now. Then we'll have a rundown, team by team, see what kind of results people have been getting, because we're nearly halfway through the season. We can do a little bit of you can see where people stand and who's got to improve and who's doing well, etc. And then at the end, we finish with the Madman predictions. So yes, welcoming Donald, Ryan Tune, Aways. Yes, how we doing, bro? British Grand Prix this weekend, and this is the schedule, guys. So practice 1 at 1 p.m. tomorrow, practice 2 4 p.m. tomorrow. I'll be live for both of those practice sessions. Then we get to the real stuff on the Saturday afternoon, 10 to 3. I'll be live for qualifying at 3 p.m. and the same time on Sunday, 10 to 3 for a 3 p.m. Grand Prix start. I think that's been moved back an hour from recent years, but yeah, 3 p.m. start to the British Grand Prix this weekend. So yeah, that is how are we doing. Yes, welcome in Gav, Ryan Tune, welcome in JJ. Let's get going. Right, so first little segment, like I say, we've got history, news, rundown and predictions. So let's get into a little bit of the history. What I try and do is I try and pick the best 3 British Grand Prix from history, and this time I've mixed it up a little bit. I've gone for the best 3 British Grand Prix home winners I've gone for. So a little bit of history on the British Grand Prix then. Don't want to bore you too much, but it's an OG circuit, the British Grand Prix, man. Silverstone's been on the calendar for 72 years, quick maths, but since day one, the Formula 1 World Championship first came about in 1950, and Silverstone was on the calendar on year 1. And I think it's only Silverstone and Monza have been on the calendar since the very beginning and done every single year. I think Monaco's been on the calendar as long, but it's maybe missed it a year or two along the way. But Silverstone every single season, same as Monza. So it's one of the absolute classics. 52 laps. Max Verstappen holds the lap record on Lewis Hamilton's home ground. Lewis won't like that, a little fact. Yes, Calvin, how we doing, bro? Seen you on the on with Denver. I'll be dropping in on that in a bit. Denver Life free. He's on his Denver Life account. Go on, lad. What's in that drink? Oh, nothing, lad. I'm not on the hard stuff yet. He's on his Denver Life free. Yes, lad. DRS, lad. 2 DRS zones, especially for Denver. Yeah, out of the farm curve into Luffield, we've got a DRS zone, and then down into Stowe, we've got down the old runway, we've got the DRS zone number 2. But yeah, 2 DRS zones, nothing crazy. That's pretty standard these days. But yeah, let's go through a little bit what I've got lined up here on the history of the British Grand Prix. Not going to go too badly on it. Not going to go too in depth, but yeah, we start off 1987. I've picked 1987 as the three British Grand Prix to look back on. I've gone at 87, 95, and 2008, and this is why. This is a very famous move. This overtake, what you're seeing here in 144p in horrendous quality, is one of the best overtakes you'll ever see. This is the famous dummy that Nigel Mansell at home pulled on Nelson Piquet. Dickhead, by the way, Nelson Piquet. In the bin. And this was a big move. If you ever see the video footage, I can't put the video footage on because Formula 1 management will sling this channel quicker than anything you've ever seen. So I've just got to run with pictures. But he dummies one way and then dives down the inside and says, have that for dinner. Have that on your plate. Because that is one of the big moves. And then, so Nigel Mansell goes on to win the 87 British Grand Prix. And the full track invasion. This is what it used to be like before all the rules and regulations, mate. He finished the race and got absolutely swamped by the fans. Like, these are the old days, man. He couldn't even get back to the pits. That was just that's proper. That's before the health and safety days, man. They can't be running onto the circuit now like that when the cars are still on track. Do I have something for you to catch up? Yeah, man. Orange car vodka in it. Nah, later on, man, later on. But yeah, then the other home winner that I've picked, so we've got Nigel Mansell, 87. Then the other one was after this crash. This was Damon Hill sending an absolute dive bomb on Michael Schumacher in the 1995 British Grand Prix. Both out of the race, and it led to Johnny Herbert winning the 1995 British Grand Prix at home. Legendary. I don't think he won many Grand Prix, Johnny Herbert. You know, not more than 2 or 3, but he won his home race, and that's what's important. But this next one, this was when I was full F1 fanboy. This is 2008. Lewis Hamilton at home in the rain in a McLaren wins this race by over 68 seconds in the wet. Absolutely dominated the race from start to finish. And he was like young, he's like 23, new on the scene. Mate, just wiped the floor with absolutely everybody. And this was one of the races where it was like people stood up and realised that this guy could be a multiple world champion. This was one of his first major performances where people went, this guy's got a massive future. And that's the first of what would come to be a lot of British Grand Prix success for Lewis Hamilton. And we'll go into how many he's won. So those are the 3 I picked. And 2008 was an absolute beast. Literally everyone was spinning off everywhere. I think Lewis was the only guy that didn't make a mistake that race. It was just, we had like Felipe Massa spun about 4 or 5 times. It was ridiculous. But yeah, I couldn't finish this segment without talking about the last couple of British Grand Prix as well, because the last couple have been really dramatic. We had this. Does anybody remember Hamilton winning the race with a front left puncture on the final lap in 2020? This was just absolutely nuts. I think I remember that everyone was getting punctures on the last few laps. I think Bottas got a puncture, Sainz, someone else. And then it was just all out chaos. And then the camera cuts to Lewis, who's leading the race and like led it comfortably. Boom, puncture, and still brought it home and still won the race with 3 wheels. I mean, look at the state of it. He won the race with the car in this state, man. That was mad, wasn't it, Magnus Gamer? That was a nuts one, that. And then, who can forget last year? That's 2020. You think that's dramatic enough? He wins a race on 3 wheels. Then we go 2021 British Grand Prix, and it's probably one of the biggest talking points of the entire season was the contact between Hamilton and Verstappen into cops at what speed are they taking cops? 160 mile an hour at least. And look at the state of Verstappen's car after that crash, man. One of the biggest crash. How Verstappen walked out of that with no injuries is just madness. Huge incident last year at the British Grand Prix. But make no mistake about it, this is Lewis Hamilton's. This is his home turf. He's won the British Grand Prix 8 times. 8 times a winner of the British Grand Prix. I think I was reading that nobody's ever won a Grand Prix 9 times. Like, nobody's ever won a single Grand Prix 9 times. I think Schumacher has won the French Grand Prix 8 times. And Hamilton's won the British Grand Prix 8 times. If he was to win this weekend, which is a bit of an outsider, a bit of an unlikely situation, but if he was to win this weekend or again in the future, he'd become a 9-time winner, and no one's ever won a race 9 times. That is his trophy. 8 times he's won that trophy, man. Unbelievable. But yeah, that's just a little bit on the history of the British Grand Prix. Lewis back home, looking to pick up a 9th win. Now let's just go into a bit of a news roundup now. Now, this issue, I'm just going to... Nelson Piquet, you're a dickhead, mate. Yeah, let's move on. Nelson Piquet's dead out here. You'll never see Nelson Piquet on a Formula 1 grid or Formula 1 paddock or anything to do with Formula 1 ever again. Fucked up. If you want to find more, you'll either already heard about it or you know about it or whatever, but I'm not even going to get into it. You're gone, mate. Anyway, on to some good news. Change the vibe. Pierre Gasly. He's staying with AlphaTauri. Now, last week, a few weeks ago, I was saying I can see Gasly moving to McLaren. I could see Gasly replacing Ricciardo, but he's not. He's stayed put, which makes me think, will McLaren then stay put with Ricciardo? Is it kind of killing the driver market? Because I thought this driver market pinned on Pierre Gasly. But if he's happy at AlphaTauri, they reckon, he's obviously been convinced that they're going to be moving up the grid next year. He's staying on, which is a kind of a bit of a buzzkill, if you ask me. I was hoping, because I really rate Pierre Gasly. I think he's in the top half dozen of drivers, I'd say. You've got your Verstappen, Leclerc, Hamilton, Russell, Norris, Gasly. I'd say he's up there with the best on the grid, I'd say. So it's a bit of a shame that. Lewis, do you think he can win this weekend, Matty? Have you got him on to win? Because he might pull, Mercedes might pull some out of the bag this weekend. But yeah, another rumour, this isn't confirmed, but another rumour says that Zhou Guanyu will stay with Alfa Romeo for next season. He's making his rookie season, Zhou Guanyu, and he's done quite well. And in Canada, which I'll get into on the rundown, but in Canada he had probably his best drive to date. So Zhou Guanyu likely to stay on Alfa Romeo for next year. Now, we'll just get into the couple of bits of news that they've been. F1 come out with this new thing where they're going to be trying net zero carbon emissions by 2030. How they're going to pull that off is beyond me. But this is a new campaign they're going for. This is a new advertising. This is a new slogan. This is a new direction they're going. Net zero by 2030. And this is to do with a new fuel that's going to come in 2026, where it's going to be like a zero emissions or carbon neutral fuel from 2026. So, mate, they're moving in the right direction. Formula 1 will never get left behind. Formula 1 breaks the boundaries, and this is just another case of that. So yeah, net zero carbon emissions by 2030. Greta, we're on your side, baby. We're on your side. Save the planet. If we can still go racing and save the planet, boom. It's a win for everybody. But meanwhile, Red Bull. Red Bull have announced that they're making a 1,100 brake horsepower hypercar. What? Like 5 million quid. It's going to be called the RB17, which is a clever name, the RB17, because with the Formula 1 cars, they went RB1, RB2, RB3 every single year. Then in 2020, they had RB16. Then in 2021, they had RB16B. Then this year, the Red Bull F1 car is called RB18. So they skipped RB17. No, they haven't skipped RB17 because it's being made and it's going to be a hypercar. And it's going to blow everything out of the water. I reckon it's going to be... Well, it will be. Never mind, I reckon. It will be one of the fastest cars in the world. Whether it's going to compete in any kind of series, I don't know. But, mate, if Red Bull making a hypercar, that's going to be next level. Perez for the win. I'd back that. Yeah, Perez for the win. Why not? He's got a decent chance. Probably the fastest car on the grid. Yeah, that's about it in the news. There's just a couple of other little bits. Alpine coming with a major upgrade. Well, major in Formula 1 standards. This is an aggressive side pod design. They've come with it. It looks like a brand new floor, brand new side pod. This is full Alpine going all out. I can see Alpine are making leaps and bounds. You know, it was only when I was doing the stats that I realised Alpine are only about 7 points behind McLaren. You know, Alpine are making moves. You know, don't sleep on them. They're not just another midfield runner. I feel like Alpine are chasing the top. We had Alonso on the front row in Canada. Might not be a one-off that, you know. Alpine are making strides. And this is looking like a nice side pod design for Alpine. Another rumour is that Williams, this isn't a picture of it, this is just a picture of the Williams in general, but there's a rumour that Albon, just on Albon's car, because Williams probably haven't got the resources or the time to put it on two cars for the same race, but the rumour is that Williams, just with Albon, are going to come with Red Bull side pods or Red Bull... you know, Red Bull style side pods. So that's got to help, hasn't it? It's got to help, man. It's got to help. Aston Martin with a brand new sponsor, Hugo Boss. That's, you know what I mean? That's not massive news. Oh, Vettel's going to do a demonstration run. This is a weird one. Or good. Sebastian Vettel's going to do a demonstration run in the 1992 championship winning Williams FW14B with some like this carbon neutral fuel thing. This seems to be the theme of the weekend, is this carbon neutral situation. And he's going to be running an old school car with like this modern, I don't know, synthetic fuel. I don't know what the hell they're running it on, but a carbon neutral fuel. So, you know, Vettel's become a bit of a Greenpeace recently. So yeah, that's about it. What the weather looking like? There might be showers on the Saturday, but apart from that, it's probably going to be a dry weekend, I'd say. With a slight risk of rain means probably a dry weekend. Max will win it, probably Matty yet. But yeah, now as news for the channel goes, this is where we're up to. So as you may know, F1 2022 has just come out. Well, if you're buying the Championship Edition, it's already out. In fact, I've been downloading it today. So, we're going to do it. We're going to do it on this channel. This is how it's going to work. Right. So, I'm going to do either... I don't know. I've not decided yet. I'm either going to do a career mode where I'm a driver and I sign for Williams, or I sign for... So I'm a driver that signs for an existing team. I might do it that way. Or there's a mode where it's called My Team, where you create a team. So I might create like Motorsport Madman Team, and you create your own. Everyone does that. Like everyone, all the F1 YouTubers, they all like create their own team and that. But I don't know. I always feel like it looks like you're driving a toy car around. It just doesn't really feel authentic to me. So I might go down the route of I've signed for Williams, and then we progress through the grid, like, and do 10 seasons, and by season 5 or season 6 I'm driving for Mercedes or Ferrari, and like progress my way up the grid. Or depends if if few people want the where we start our own team, then I'll do that. But it's going to be Tuesday nights and Wednesday nights, and then when there's a weekend where there isn't a Grand Prix, I'll do Friday and Saturday nights as well. So yeah, this is what's gonna. My team is better. Yeah, maybe, but it's just everyone does my team. Everyone does my team, and it's like maybe I do my team, the Win It Motorsport Madman team or whatever. But yeah, Tuesday and Wednesday nights, and this is what's going to bridge the gap between the races, because if I only do 22 streams a year, if I only stream the race every year, it's 22 videos a year. It's going to be a decade before the channel goes anywhere, do you know what I mean? So this is going to bridge the gap. It's going to put more content out there, get more videos out there, and hopefully get the channel noticed a bit more. But yeah, so F1 2022 career mode. So the first episode will be on Tuesday night, 7 p.m. So yeah, that's about it for the news. So let's go to team by team rundown. So how this works is we'll go from the back of the grid to the front in team order. So we'll go 10th through to 1st in Constructors Championship order. Can't wait for that. Yes, Gav. Oh, big up, man. Yeah, we're gonna rock it, man. I used to be a beast on the F1 games. These days I'm probably just above average, but yeah, we're gonna kill it, man. So yeah, a little rundown. I won't go too in depth, but we start with Williams. Then they're 10th and last at the minute on 3 points. Obviously Albon with all 3 of those points, point in Australia and 2 points in Miami. But yeah, they've been out of the points for the last few races now. They haven't scored since Miami. I mean, look at Latifi. I mean, he's consistent. I'll give him that. 15th, 16th, 15th, my God. But he's just not getting any points. Albon just sitting outside of the points in 12th and 13th. They'll be looking to improve with, like I say, this brand new, rumoured to be a Red Bull style side pod that they've got just on Albon's car this weekend. So see if that can help them out. But yeah, they're in last and 10th. 9th is Haas. They've really dropped off in the last few races. I mean, look, Magnussen started the season off so well, 5th, 9th, and another 9th in Imola. And then look at the season since then for Magnussen. DNF 17th, DNF 17th. Horrible. Schumacher as well, not had any luck. And they started like 5th and 6th on the grid in Canada, and it just didn't work out for him. Schumacher retiring with, I don't know what issue he had, whether it was gearbox or engine or what, but they've just had a horrible look recently, Haas. I hope they can get back in the points soon, because they don't have a car that deserves to be in 9th, man. They deserve to be fighting in the midfield pack. So yeah, still stuck on those 15 points that they've been stuck on for months, unfortunately. That means that Aston Martin, having gained 1 point last weekend courtesy of Lance Stroll at his home Canadian Grand Prix, move up to 8th. And yeah, they're on the up, slowly but surely. As you can see, I've got the stars for the championships now, because you got to respect Sebastian Vettel. I was saying the other week that, Vettel to new fans is probably like a nobody. He's probably like just some veteran that finishes 16th and stuff. But nah, man, Sebastian Vettel's a 4-time world champion. And that just shows, when you get the stars next to the face, you just realise, yeah, man, he had his heyday, Sebastian Vettel. But yeah, Aston Martin, not been brilliant, have they? Not been brilliant, but are they slowly getting it together? I hope so. 7th place then, as they've pretty much been all season, is ALFA TAURI. How's me day? Oh yeah, good man. Yeah, good man. How are you doing, Aways? Yeah, good. So ALFA TAURI is 7th with 27 points. You know, I mean, look at these last few races. I mean, Gasly pulled off a madness in Azerbaijan. Look at that. A 5th place in Azerbaijan there for Pierre Gasly. But other than that, this season's been anonymous so far for AlphaTauri. You know, and you just wonder, what have AlphaTauri told Gasly that he's signed up so quick? You know, I'd be thinking, if I was Gasly, I'd be looking at the situation at McLaren thinking, there could be a door ajar here. There could be an opening. But the fact he's signed up, I don't know if he's seen the technical program for next year and thought we're moving in the right direction or what. But Gasly signed up for another year with his team, and he needs to be doing better, man. Because last season they were on it. You know, they were rapid, and this season it's just not been that way. 7th they remain. 6th, having dropped from 5th. They were 5th in constructors a couple of weeks ago, but they're now in 6th on 51 points. It's Alfa Romeo, and they did actually have a good race in Canada. It's just that Alpine and others had a better race. But yeah, Alfa Romeo with a 7th and 8th in Canada. They're doing well. Zhou Guanyu is rumoured to be staying on with this team through to 2023. Supposed to be getting a contract for next year, which makes sense. You know, he's a rookie. He's had a couple of points finishes. He's on the up, and by far the Canadian Grand Prix a couple of weeks ago was his best race to date. So fair play. Bottas on the other side of the grid, mate, he's pulling a madness. 46 points, 8th in the championship. Valtteri Bottas on an absolute rampage. Do you think Tsunoda's seat is up for challenge? Yeah, potentially. Yeah, I think the second half of this season is crucial for Tsunoda. I think there's a few. I've not been following F2 too closely this season, but there's always a couple of Red Bull juniors queuing up for that, and yeah, Tsunoda might become under a bit of pressure. Especially, he did make a silly mistake in Canada as well. He just punted it straight in the wall, didn't he? So yeah, Yuki needs to have a couple of moments where you go, wow, Yuki, boom, you know, brilliant drive. You know, how many times have this season gone, oh, Yuki Tsunoda, fantastic. I think just once in Imola, he did have a good drive in Imola, but apart from that, he's pretty anonymous. And anonymous is the worst thing to be in Formula 1. But yeah, moving up then to 5th place, Alpine, who are definitely on the up. Look at Fernando Alonso's last 4 results. 9th, 7th, 7th, 9th. They're on the up. Ocon always getting in the points, and a great P6 in Canada. Look at his last results. 8th, 7th, 12th, 10th, 6th. You know, Esteban Ocon's one of the drivers of the season, to be honest, and probably the most underrated driver on the grid as well is Esteban Ocon with 39 points and 9th in the championship. Fernando Alonso now up to P10 in the championship, and with a brand new aggressive side pod design this weekend. They're definitely ones to look out for the rest of the season, man. I seriously think Alpine look a better outfit and a better car than McLaren. I really do. I think they're going to beat McLaren this year, and I think by the end of the year, I think they'll thrash McLaren, to be perfectly honest with you, who sit in 4th at the minute on 65 points, especially if Daniel Ricciardo doesn't pull his finger out and start doing what Lando Norris is doing. Alpine are going to run away with 4th place in constructors this year. But yeah, let's look at McLaren's results then. On one side of the garage, you've got Norris, who now, as I see that 15th place in Canada, they had an absolute nightmare, the pit crew. They completely ruined Lando's race in Canada. So that's a bit of an odd result. That he shouldn't have been 15th. But up until then, you know, Lando's been having a great season, to be fair. He's been getting the most out of the car, to be honest with you. Daniel Ricciardo, you know, I was thinking he's under pressure. You know, if you'd have asked me 2 weeks ago, I'd have said Gasly's going to get that seat. But now Gasly's re-signed with AlphaTauri, staying on. Does that make Daniel Ricciardo's position a bit more secure? I think it does. You know, but he's still not been great. And it's a big second half of the season for Daniel Ricciardo to prove not only to to people and naysayers and critics and all that, but to prove to himself that he's still right up there as one of the best, because he's had a couple of Alpine on the rise, innit, Gav? Alpine on the rise. And boss this season. He's just been fantastic. And can they do something at home? 2 British drivers. I mean, Mercedes is German, but it's run in Brackley, you know what I mean? It's for all sense and purposes, it's pretty much a British team. But yeah, I wonder. And Lewis is on the up. Look at Lewis's last results now. A 4th and a 3rd. Lewis on the up and Mercedes. Are they... Oh, it's not a case of... Are they going to catch up Red Bull and Ferrari? When are they going to catch up Red Bull and Ferrari? I think it's coming. I think they're going to surprise a few people this weekend. I think they're going to surprise... A few people are going to go... Ooh. I feel like they're going to drop the mic. It's going to be a bit of a mic drop moment for Mercedes this weekend, I think. But yeah, 2nd in Constructors' Championship, then Ferrari, 228 points. So how many points? Let me just go back to Mercedes, they're on 188. And Ferrari, with a much better car, are only like 30, 40 points ahead of Mercedes. That should be night and day. They should be 200 points ahead of Mercedes. That's crazy, man. But look at Leclerc's last few results. It's all gone down the pan. I can't believe it. He started this season, Leclerc, 1st, 2nd, 1st. I thought, he's winning this championship. I thought, it's a done deal. Shape man now. Championship done. And then look, since Australia, look at Leclerc, 6th, 2nd, DNF, 4th, DNF, 5th. Look at those last 4 results for Charles Leclerc, man. Unreliability of the Ferrari engine, just taking engine penalties left, right and centre, had to come from the back in Canada. Mate, he's had a nightmare the last few races. DNF 4th, DNF 5th is unbelievable. When you want to win a championship, you've got to be... That's unbelievable. And then on this side of the garage, Carlos Sainz, even worse luck. I mean, he's pulled together a couple of P2s in the last 3 races, but what's he had 3 or 4 DNFs? They both had like 3 DNFs apiece. Well, Leclerc 2, but my God, it feels like 5 DNFs each. They need to get it back together, and I feel like Leclerc needs to win this weekend. I really do. I feel like Verstappen's running away with it. He's won like the lap. Well, let's move on to Red Bull then. Let's move on to Red Bull. Verstappen's running away with it, man. Look at this. From Imola onwards. Let's look at Imola onwards. First. 3rd in Monaco. First. What's that? He's won what? 5 out of the last 6. And he's won 6 out of the first 9 races. Max Verstappen's starting to run away with it. And if Ferrari don't win this weekend, I feel if Verstappen wins again, mate, the writing's starting to be on the wall. It is his only championship rival, this man. On the other side of the garage, Mexican driver Sergio Perez. Is he the only one that's got the machinery? If Ferrari with their unreliability. But yeah, I don't know why it's showing that I've been live for 4 minutes. It must have gone off and come back on again. I've no idea. Unless it's just actually gone off and I'm just chatting to myself. But yeah, I've been live for 4 minutes, which makes no sense. It must have gone off. It must have glitched off. But yeah, sorry if it went off. Don't know if I'm back on, but yeah. Is anybody there? But yeah, that's the rundown anyway. I don't know if I'm talking to myself, if anyone's actually... If I'm still on. But I did see it glitch out, before. And I thought, ooh, what's going on here? Yeah, he went off, but you're back. Yeah, that's what I thought, Gav. I thought it's gone off. It's gone off and I'll come back on, innit? Yeah, that's what I thought. Right, anyway. Yeah, the internet's been dodgy around here. Right, anyway, last part of the show then. Madman predictions. They're not as mad this weekend because I have had some especially mad predictions recently. And I've just taken it back. I've just taken it back a little notch this weekend. I've gone for something more normal. So we've got Vettel P10. We've got Zhou Guanyu P9. He's on the up. He's doing well. I expect him to get another couple of points this weekend. I go Norris P8. By the way, anyone watching, get your predictions in the chat. Top 3, what you saying? I'm here, mate. Yes, no worries, Donald. It must have gone off and come back on, but apologies if there's been any kind of glitching out. We've had it, you know, those OpenReach vans that come and they mess up your Wi-Fi for about 2 weeks. Yeah, we're in the middle of that, so apologies. I just hope that all the internet's fully smooth as an otter's pocket for the Grand Prix, for quali and the race, because I'll be absolutely fuming if it's like going off and on again during the race. Like, I'll be good. But yeah, I've gone where I'm up to. Norris P8. You say Russell Pole. That's brave. That's brave. I back it. I've gone Alonso 7th, but you know what? I might change this in a minute. But I've gone Alonso 7th, but this is before I knew about the aggressive upgrade and everything. Then I've gone Bottas P6, Sainz P5. Then I got a top 4 of Perez in 4th. Then I got a double Mercedes podium. I got Russell P3, Lewis at home in P2, just being beaten by Ferrari's Charles Leclerc. I've gone Verstappen DNF because I feel like I've gone Verstappen, Gasly and Ocon DNF because I feel like in Formula 1 success ebbs and flows and fortune ebbs and flows, and I feel like it's about time that Ferrari had some good luck, and it's about time that Verstappen, something went a little bit wrong. So I'm going Verstappen in the bin. Leclerc wins for Ferrari because he needs to, and 2 Mercedes on the podium. So I've not gone that brave, really. I've gone Leclerc pole position as well. I think Leclerc's, it's a madness, but I think Leclerc's been on pole about, don't quote me on this, but I think Leclerc's been on pole about 7 of the 9 races. Something like 7 or 8 of the 9 races. It was madness. But he's only won 2 of them. So what's going on there? So yeah, anyway, yeah, I've gone Charles Leclerc. But do you know what? No, for tomorrow, I'll have it different. By the time it's practice tomorrow at 1 o'clock, I'm moving Alonso up. I'm gonna give it to you. I give it to you straight. I'm gonna move Alonso up because he had a front row in Canada. Yeah, it was in like drying conditions, but yada yada. But I think Alpine are onto something. I think Alpine might now be consistently fighting in the top 6 now. Might consistently be 4th, 5th, 6th around there. I feel like Alpine, I've put 1 Alpine 7th and 1 1 DNF. Nah, it's an injustice. It's an injustice to Alpine, that prediction, and it's going to be changed tomorrow. Bottas 6th, yeah, man. Yeah, man. I mean, Bottas has had some mega results. I had him. In fact, I've predicted Bottas on the podium a couple of times this year, but that didn't work out. But yeah, that's what I'm going for. I'm going Lewis and Charles to battle for the win, but Charles just to have a too fast of a car, and Verstappen not to finish. Or at least that'd make the championship a little bit more interesting if Verstappen wasn't to finish. But you know how it's going to go. You know Verstappen's going to dominate the team. Now we'll see. I think Mercedes will pull a surprise out of the bag, and I think they'll be quick, and I think Alpine are going to be quick, and I've got to change my prediction on Alpine. But yeah, that's about it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. That's about it for the preview show. I will be back 1 p.m. tomorrow. Be having a few drinks with Denver now if you're into that scene. But yeah, I'll be back 1 p.m. tomorrow for practice 1, 4 p.m. for practice 2. So yeah, join me then. And I appreciate you all watching. And if you have enjoyed it, please do drop me a like, because it gets me noticed. And as you can probably tell, a bit of effort goes into the preview show. So, you know, appreciate every kind of feedback. You know, tell me what you think in the comments, get your predictions in the comments, etc. And subscribe if you're into Formula 1, because I'm live for every qualifying and every race of the Formula 1 World Championship. Right, guys? Peace out. It's been real. See you tomorrow.